everyone, and welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. Hope you guys can hear me okay. Gonna test the live stream to see if the quality is good. Seems not to be a great quality. Let's see the sound. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to do a video game isometric house. A lot of people have seen, well, people that follow me anyway, have seen this little house, and you guys were super excited about it, kept asking me how to do it, if I'll do a tutorial, when will I do a tutorial. So finally today I'm going to show you a bit about that. The stream health is not great. Hopefully it'll get better. So for those of you watching the recording, you're gonna see the beginning, and it's really not complicated. So I have a little mushroom house from my sister. Where did I put it? There it is, mushroom house, and you just drag and drop, and you wait a while. You can see it's thinking. And there we go, we have the house 3D model in Photoshop now. In order for this to work, you need to install the 3D layer plugin, and to be honest, you kind of have to go on websites that host Photoshop plugins, and sometimes you can get a virus alert, so be careful about that. It might not be kind of an ideal place to go to. You can use your mouse and a keyboard to kind of arrange the view of how this is going to be seen, so you can choose your point of view. So I think this one's pretty good. I'm gonna enlarge this. Come on, duplicate. And I'm also going to duplicate this because I'm not gonna, you can't paint over the 3D layer, you have to rasterize it. So raster 3D, and now it's just a 2D image that you can change however you want. I still have the old one underneath, and now I'm going to move this a bit lower here, squeeze it just a bit in so it fits better with the page, and I'm gonna use the lower part to blend my colors here. Now I also have Clip Studio Paint, and I would really recommend that over Photoshop. And also you don't need to install other 3D things at all. You can do this directly into Clip Studio Paint. And I'm not sure exactly how to get the menu, 3D menu, to rotate it anymore. But you can add 3D characters. It already has a list here. You have a collection. Again, you can use drag and drop for these. These are puppets from within Clip Studio Paint, so you have added features and you can like move their legs and things like that, which is not something that you can edit anymore in the house because it's just one object. I took it from Blender, and here you can rotate it. I'm still getting the hang of 3D editing in Clip Studio Paint, so I'm not ready to do a tutorial in it just now. No, I don't want to save that. And this is how the Blender project looks like. So this is what my sister did in 3D in Blender, and you can see here all the bits. So this you can still like edit, but the other one, once you put it into Photoshop, you can no longer do that. And of course you can export, and it has here you export OBJ. OBJ means object, and then you import that through just drag and drop into Clip Studio Paint. And if you want to do it for Photoshop, you have to install the plugin. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have good stream health now, so let me take my pen tablet out. I am using a Wacom Mintus Pro tablet, medium size. I find that the medium size suits me best. I don't like tablets with the screen in the tablet because I don't like to have my hand over the art. I much prefer it when I look at my big expensive computer screen and have like a smaller tablet below that fits on my desk. So what we're gonna do first of all is chop this into different parts, just because it makes it easier to paint over. Of course, you might have a different workflow. Do what you think is most comfortable for you. This is how I do it and prefer to do it. Select the layer, cut, Control V to paste it in the same place, but hold the Shift key. You don't need to press the Shift key in Clip Studio Paint, it's enough to just Control V. And roof. And I'm gonna chop out the little window here. And Control Shift V again. Window, roof. And then the what's it called? Chimney. Again, cut. And then press Ctrl G to group all of them. I wish this function worked in Clip Studio Paint as well. It does not. I haven't been able to find the shortcut for that, but it's super convenient. You just press Ctrl G and it groups the layers you have selected. In Clip Studio Paint you have to make a folder and then just put all of them inside, and it's really not that much of a problem, but I prefer that, and I wish it did have that function. So now I'm going to use color, just because I want to preserve the shading. As you see, it's darker there and lighter here and a lot of white there. So that would be the base color. Okay. And with this one, it's a bit more complicated because I want the roof to be red. And the rest of the building creamy yellow. And I'm not sure how it looked because the resolution is very bad that I saved it in. Which was it to rotate the camera? Shift? What? Oh great, I moved it. Fine, I'll look at it like that. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be a brown frame here, and the whole thing maybe was brown. I think it might have all of it been like wood. You can always change it later. And it's taking a lot of time to save. But always do save often. Yes, I don't want to save those. Not sure where the building ends and starts. The light is a bit harsh. Building body, building body, and then I'm gonna take the door out, and it's frozen again. Something, something. Not sure. And I click saved again, so it's frozen. Okay, door. And the building body, I'm going to enlarge this area here just so I don't have any weird cropping. And come on, Control Z, there we go. So my computer seems to be struggling a bit with this. And I'm also gonna give it a screen because I know I want it to be lighter. And go back to color. 100%. I had a spot there missing. That lamp, I'm just gonna ignore it for now. It's too small and I'm just gonna redraw it completely later on. The fencing over there. I'm just gonna crop that out. Oh, I also forgot to have like a color palette. Fairy woodland. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, I guess I can use that. But I want a color palette already made. I kinda like that. Some more unnatural colors. And I think I was going for, if I remember, Ernest, what was it? I think it wasn't a slice of life. Yep, there we go. This was kind of the mushroom house thingy. So I'm gonna keep that. And it's saving. And I'm gonna name this color palette. Color palette. Ah, okay, fine, I'll put it here. And every time I save, it's taking a long time. I'm tempted to delete that layer, maybe that's what's causing it. Because it's not that big of a project. It's 2000 by 2000 pixels, so it's really not that much. And I'm pressing shift key to get that part there below. And control V, hammock. And saved it, and then I'm gonna turn it off. Decorations. Turning it off. So now I'm gonna paint a bit over, and I want that bright green red for the green for the grass. And first of all, I'm gonna put it to color. I'm gonna erase that weird shadow over there. And now I'm just gonna paint normal. No, I don't want dissolve, I want it normal. And I think I will cut the stone out of it. And Control Shift V, name this foundation. And it's gonna be above the grass. And I'm gonna need to cut out the stones as well, because I don't want it to come over it. So basically what you do with this model is that you just keep it as a guideline. You won't actually need it in the end. Shift these stones. And I press yeah, I can't. It's, let's see if I delete this. Yep, now it's saving fast. So my recommendation would be not to keep the 3D model in Photoshop anymore after you're done using it, because as you can see, it just is very cumbersome to save. So now I'm gonna go for a brush that kind of simulates blending a bit. You don't really have much of a blending feature in Photoshop. It's really bad. I would recommend to use Clip Studio Paint, but if you don't have it, and by the way, Clip Studio Paint is on average $50, and you have it for life, and the updates are free. But you can get it at a discount for like as little as $20. I think I paid for mine. I got it during one of the discounts. And I want it to be more on the pinky side. I want it to be like a fairy mushroom. And for this one as well. this one, I'm gonna look for a stone. Uh, Smooth stone. Actually, I think it would be more interesting if it had like a bit more of a rugged look to it. I don't know. But these are pretty cute as well, and they're really smooth. But it's definitely gonna be like a lighter gray. And I'm gonna erase the extra here. And I'm gonna go all the way in the back there. We can always add the shading later on. Erase the extra for a nice cleaner finish type of look. Chimney. Again, I'm gonna use color as the blending layer for my brush. And then I'm gonna switch to normal. And that darker yellow for the sides here. And basically what you do is just recolor that, and I would switch to a normal brush and do the contouring. Press shift to draw straight lines, and forgot completely to change the background of this. And this will help me to see things better. It's kind of ideal to put it more toward the middle. again, some of those darker colors there. But this should probably be like a thick rim, I imagine. And then having kind of a darker middle there. Yeah, not the best angle. Okay, so let's turn on the decorations, and to be honest, those flowers gotta go. I spent last night quite a bit of time to kind of try and get rid of them, but there were just too many. Where was it? Decorations, there we go. I only need the fence really, because that's the tricky part, the straight fence. Something like that. And the fence, yeah, it was white, and I would like to keep it white. Duplicate. I'm gonna turn it to no, because I have too much black. It's not gonna. Why is it not deleting? Delete. There we go. Strange. Screen. And I want it to be kind of a creamy yellow fence. Gonna need it to be more on this color. Now it's too mustardy, going more for brown. And not screen. Okay. Really weird the angle I put this fence in. Not great. I should have thought about this more. I mean, it was a pretty wonky fence to begin with, but in this angle it does not look good. I will see if I give it up and like redo the whole thing, or if it's salvageable. I think maybe it will look nicer if it's from the front. So let me see if I can uh, get the fence. Zoom in, there we go. And rotate. And the center is way off for some reason. And rotate it a bit. And then it would fit more. And let me just delete those plants there, because they might show up in the view. And save over, yes, and file export. Can I export just one thing? I'm curious. File export port fence and click export. And it's thinking. There we go. Okay, let's see what I have exported. Fence. Oh, wait. Why is it MTL? Where's the... Ah, OBJ. Let's see. Is it doing anything? Yeah. Okay. Question is if I can fit it back in. The same kind of perspective. There we go. Something like that. Kind of fitting over it, so that will be the fence there. No, it needs to be more rotated, sort of. Yeah, you're never gonna match these up. I have a suspicion. But I'm kind of trying to match it up to the hammock thing, because those still look the same. But I feel like it's more like this. Not sure. But yeah, let this be a lesson. You're never gonna make it fit back in. So I'm gonna cut the fence here. And you just crop it out. So if you're bad at perspective and lines, and even a simple fence is hard for you, then maybe making it in 3D would be an easy way to kind of get a fence that looks okay. Especially if it has like this irregular shape, it's gonna be hard to imagine how it would be in 3D. And I'm gonna turn on the stones, and this fence I'm gonna put it there and make it bigger. Fence. Screen. There you go. And another thing you can do, you can use warp to kind of, if you want to, butcher it further. And now I just kind of will go do the outline of it. It's a good idea to go for like a thinner, darker line. That background in the back is really not helpful, so I switched the colors up a bit. Of course, you can also export the line art from Blender. There we go. And get my stylus again. I did this with the mouse. And I went a bit out of course there. I'll select that back in. Use the pseudo blending brush and just color that in. So for us, the light is coming from above, from the front. So this will kind of be the most lighted area. And we're just building in contrast in there because you can see the difference between these two isn't that great. And we wanted to have more contrast because then everything seems better defined. And we'll keep blending until those lines disappear because we don't want any lines. We want it to look like here. And this hammock, again, it will be, I'll make it a, maybe a bluish green. Again, blending layer set to normal. It's too blue. I'm gonna choose this other color. Ugh, looks horrible. I'll go for green now and I'll blend it in later. And I think I will part these into different, maybe, pieces. And I don't think I'm gonna need those shadows. So again, with the blending brush, pseudo blending brush, just gonna go in there in that dark area and color it in. And I generally want cold colors, so we're gonna shift into blue here a bit. And it's gonna look so much better with colored shadows. And it's kind of hard for me to manage, as I can see. So I'll probably chop this into bits. But I'm not sure exactly where I'm supposed to end it. I think this is a good place as any. And this is gonna be front leg. And this one's gonna be in the back of it, because that's the order. And now it's gonna be much easier to kind of select that area. There we go. In fact, this actually would kind of continue in. If you like take out this bit, it would be something like that. And that looks much better. And now I'm going to switch back to the normal brush just so I can define this better. So I don't have those jagged edges anymore. And it's gonna look much better in the long run. Always erase the excess. Be careful not to take too much out. You might need it, but you can put it back in. So you don't need to be too shy about these things. Doesn't that look much better? And the same can be done for the hammock here. Oh, my live dashboard is stuck. Uh-oh. Did it crash? Let's see if it's updated. Hopefully on YouTube it's gonna look okay. Yep. If it was stuck with that image for such a long time, no wonder my chat is so empty. On which layer? So for the hammock thingy, I'm gonna select this part and then go in here. Maybe I'll put some leaves over it and kind of hide the horrible tie. Hammock. Don't know how it's written in English. Back leg. And again, I reset to hard brush just so I can get rid of those jagged lines from the really bad resolution that I saved this project in. And I'm just gonna fill in these colors. And then I'm going to come with the brush again and blend it out. And to kind of give it a more 3D volume. There we go. Starting to look okay. And of course, don't be afraid to, like, if you need for concept art, to take um, items from previous projects. So for example, I have the flowers here, and they're little flower pots. Uh, and of course, if you scale it, it's now blurry and ugly. But if you only need it just to kind of put some decorations and kind of organize yourself better, you can do that. And this is way too hot. I'm gonna tone it down a bit. And of course, you have the jagged bits again. So go with a slightly darker color and start to contour. Oh, this is way too dark. Much better. Okay. And it's got kind of a gown training effect. Don't be afraid to erase the extras. And these are small details that you won't see when you zoom out, but it really does a lot to soften the look of one of these digital paintings. And this is a very time consuming style, so don't kid yourself that you're saving any time. Like that earnest illustration took forever to make. So now I'm gonna focus on the door, and I want to make it red like the roof. Select inverse and cutting this out and pasting it back in, and this is going to be door frame. Now I have some stuff here. Just blending back in. That was the lamp there. Again, switching between brushes to hard tip. And I'm always going for more saturated with when I darken something, simply because I want to preserve the vibrancy of my illustration, and whenever you go darker you're gonna lose some of that if you're not careful to choose your colors wisely. You can end up with a ugly, desaturated, boring illustration. Thank you, David. Yes, it is a fairy house. Can you hear me okay? I use the 3D model to um, get the shape for it. Yep, sound is good. Awesome. So I used color blending layer to change the color. I added color to a grayscale image. So that's what I did there. And the pseudo blending brush. There we go. Putting that color back in. I had some bits missing. Yes, I am using Photoshop this time because I promised to do this tutorial in Photoshop. Next time I'm gonna do it in Clip Studio Paint because it has much better blending features and color management. But like I said, I promised I do this in Photoshop because most of my followers have Photoshop, not Clip Studio Paint. But for example, if you want to do this in Photoshop, you have to install the 3D plugin, and it's usually on some shady websites that are gonna give you virus alerts. While in Clip Studio Paint, you don't need to go anywhere. It can do it by default. Let me show you. See here. So here it is in Clip Studio Paint how the 3D model look like, and you just drag and drop it, and that's the same house in the 3D object. Better close Clip Studio Paint. I think I have too many things opened, and sometimes the live stream kind of froze, and I hope it's gonna look okay. The recording final. I'm not sure if it like lost some of the information. Hopefully not. After I refreshed, it looked fine, so hope it'll be okay. Also, if you feel you have like a bit of transparency there, just press Ctrl J and it will duplicate the layer, and then you merge those layers so that you have like full opacity. And here I have the door frame, and I really like I don't like the fact that the stone is really gray, so I'm gonna go back to my stones here, just copy these and put it here down below where my color palettes are. And try and get some of these grays here. Again, I select my brush to color, and it seems it's a blue, and I kinda like that. And I'm gonna go to the stones here. And I think one of them's kind of a purplish stone, yeah. And one of them is gonna be maybe peachy orange. And maybe one of them is gonna be yellowish. And now I'm just gonna go and erase the extra stuff there that you see, so that I can define the stone better. And it's obviously way too shiny for what I want, so I'm also gonna lighten it up. I want the colors to be a bit more discreet for the stone, because it kind of looks like one of those cheap aquarium stones. I got some random pixels there. Okay. And I'm gonna have to draw grass here as well, like I did for the other illustration. So you can see I have grass painted there everywhere. Control H to take out the grid, Control H to put it back in, so that's how you toggle between them. Press Control H. It might be easier for me if I put them on different layers, I think. The more you chop up for this style of illustration, the better, honestly. Stone middle. And Control Shift V. Stone bottom. And stone top. So I'm doing a bit more freehand here. I'm going to erase the extra once I'm done. Since it's a stone, I don't have to worry too much about it. If I'm not erasing in the exact good place. Always have a hard brush, eraser for this style of painted look. Is my recommendation. Of course, you can try different methods, but unless you have a hard brush, it's not gonna do a clean erase. Oh, it was the eraser. And on which layer is this? Okay. Erase that junk over there. And as you can see, it already looks better, the stone on top. And I kind of have those floating in space, and I'm either going to hide it with grass or actually paint it in like the original model was. So pretty much everything casts a shadow and reflects some light. So you might want to have that in mind at all times. And this door here, I'm not sure what it was supposed to be like. So I'm just gonna make some stones there. Uh, what color did I make these stones? So light is coming from that direction, kind of. And it kind of shifts how it affects the stone. And again, eraser. I've cut into the door, and I'll have to go in back to the door and kind of try and figure out the lighting and how it's gonna look. And I feel like there should be a frame down below. I'm not sure exactly. Let me look around door. And I want to see how it looks below. Maybe I'll put like a little carpet in front of the door. That should kind of soften the edge because it's really harsh here at the moment. I zoomed in too much. But actually you can press H, Control H, and that should fix it. You don't see the grid anymore. And now I go in and erase the extra. And yeah, I will put the doorknobs on top on a different layer, a new layer. Doorknobs. So you kind of have the door and the doorknob sticking out a bit. But it still has to be kind of a circle. and then put a bit of shine on them. But how do I differentiate that these are two different doors? So I want this to be even darker here. I want it to be, oh, wrong layer. So I want it to be even darker so it's clear that there's a crack in the door there and that those two are separate. And the colors are not very harmonious here, so I'm gonna have to keep at it. And I kind of have to find a good color for the wood and the roof. Wow, it's already 2:37, so soon it's gonna be 3 o'clock and I'm not gonna continue streaming after that. So I might do this in 2 parts, probably. Tiny roof. Okay. And let's see what creamy brownish color I can. To be honest, I think a white would go much better, so it'd be like a painted white wood frame there. I feel like it would have much more symmetry if it was kind of the same color as the mushroom house. And the picket fence as well, to be honest. So I'm gonna take the brown from here and use it over there. Reset tool, find hard edge. not sure where this one's going. Oh, okay. And I'm gonna make it a lot more lighter here. Yeah, because that's the window frame. And inside is going to be dark. So actually I'm going to erase this part and just put some inside texture, and I'll just draw the frame around it, over it. Inside. I mean, I can always put some glass to kind of show that it's reflecting the light. So first of all, I'm gonna erase those parts there because I don't know why they are there. I don't need them. Okay, and the bottom stone. Stone middle. Like I said before, don't be afraid to erase the extra bits. And all of these lines as well, like they have to be way less visible. So just keep blending until they disappear, and then erase whatever you go outside of the bounds. And obviously you'll have like a little bit of shading there. Because you do have the sunlight. Like here it might have some more. Kind of trying to have the geometry of it in mind. And of course you'll have grass, and there'll be bits and pieces missing underneath it. And front leg and back leg. Okay, so that one kind of there we go. And like I said before, colored shadows much better. Especially if you have like a little bit of color shift. And again, that will need to be blended in. Like I said, put some leaves in there, kind of hide stuff. uh, have as little tangents as possible, like so it's not was just touching, because it confuses the eye as to which is forward, which is back. It's unpleasant for perspective drawing to do that, so always have overlap whenever you can, just to avoid that unsettling feeling. And if you want to adjust your little house, the color, okay, how do I go back to that menu? Oh, it was in adjustments, okay. And adjustments, and I want less saturation. Yep, definitely less, so it looks wider. Because I want the stone to do the same thing, and I'm gonna do it from saturation, less saturation, and more lightness. Foundation, and I'm gonna somehow put the textures of the stones in there. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do that. Gonna look through my brushes. I think maybe this one was it. Probably. Yes, see. I'm gonna turn off decorations and the stones. So good grunge brush. And again, reset hard tip And going back to my pseudo blend brush. Where'd you go, you little rascal? When you have too many brushes, you tend to kind of lose some of them. So I want kind of a softer round stone, so it's not gonna have that jagged edge that I put in some other of my illustrations. I'm gonna try and do a nice interesting soft stone for it. All past attempts have ended in failure, that's why I went for the more defined stone. Let me show you. So stuff like this, it's clear what it is. A rounder one, not really, and it also doesn't have the right shape, so it should be more rounded, something like that. And you keep working at it until it starts to look as you wanted it to look. So yeah, this was part 1 of drawing the little fairy mushroom house. I think it will be another part 2 for the polishing and adding details so that it pops out like this. Like you see, the door has a lot of details in it, all the stones, the metal railing. Also, I want to put a little bench in there. I want to put a mailbox and just things to make it seem more like a home that is inhabited. Maybe I'll put some like second picket fence over there, something like that. We'll see. So that will be for part 2. Thank you for watching. Hope you found it useful. Um, so the programs that I use for this are Blender and Photoshop with a 3D enhancement. Of course, you can use directly Clip Studio Paint and you will need the plugin. Yep, so April is gonna be the last month I stream. I am currently having a art giveaway for reaching 500 subscribers on YouTube, so go check that out. Leave a comment that you wanna join in the giveaway so that I know to add you to the list. Thank you for watching, everybody, and bye bye.